A beloved member of our CNN family made a very personal announcement this week. Sara Sidner revealed that she is battling stage 3 breast cancer. Sidner says the diagnosis came as a shock. She has no family history and a low-risk lifestyle. But even more startling for her was the extreme racial disparity when it comes to surviving the disease.
If you happen to be a Black woman, you are 41% more likely to die from breast cancer than your white counterparts. 41%. So to all my sisters, Black and white and brown out there, please, for the love of God, get your mammograms every single year. Do your self-exams. Try to catch it before I did.
We're joined now by Dr. April Spencer. She's a breast surgeon here in Atlanta. So good to see you. So help us understand. Of course, we continue to, pray and hope for the best possible outcome for Sara. But, she is helping to put a spotlight on these great disparities and how important it is to get mammograms annually, self-exam. But help us understand, if you will, what is a stage 3 diagnosis?
Yes, and thanks for having me, Frederica. The stage 3 diagnosis is composed of 3 main things, mainly the size of the tumor, whether or not lymph nodes are involved, that's important as well. And so oftentimes with a stage 3 breast cancer, that just suggests that the breast cancer is likely a large size, over 3 to 5 centimeters, or outside of the breast. So it's usually like a local regional diagnosis. And we see that very commonly in women of color.
Mm-hmm. And Sara was very generous in revealing, what her journey has been like. She's been doing chemo, she'll do radiation, and then she will have a double mastectomy. But she also noted, she's the ultimate optimist. She said it is not the death sentence that it once was. But it is a leading cause of cancer deaths for Black women, and it's been that way since 2019. Why is it so much more deadly among Black women?
In the medical community, we're trying to get a grapple on that. We've come a very long way, but we still have a ways to go, especially as it relates to breast cancer in women of color. Now, one of the things that we have acknowledged is that one big part of the disparity, of course, is access. It's important that in communities of color that our women get access to quality care. The other aspect of this is just making sure that we get screened. Sara mentioned this. Early detection means better protection. So we've got to get screened. And the other big key factor is we've got to start educating healthcare providers on cultural sensitivity, because a lot of times there is just ingrained in our culture to have a mistrust of the medical community. So oftentimes there's a reluctance, and again, the mistrust that will impact the care that we will follow through with. So those things are just as important in terms of lowering the disparity. We've got to have that discussion. So I'm so glad we're chatting about this today.
Oh, I'm so glad as well. And I mean, you said there are perhaps some real cultural sensitivities or lack thereof, but is that the same as saying there is simply systemic racism?
For sure. You said it absolutely correctly. There is systemic racism. And as healthcare providers, we have to be more educated because there's a lot of conscious and unconscious bias in the healthcare system. As a woman of color that is a surgeon, I have seen it on both sides, on the healthcare side, in delivery, and also in the receiving of healthcare. And so oftentimes I have to act as an advocate for my family members and friends when they are interfacing our healthcare system because of that general mistrust. So we have got to make sure that on the healthcare side of things, we are delivering healthcare, and we are a big part of the problem. But the good thing is we can be a part of the solution. That's the most important thing. So just educating staff on more cultural sensitivity and understanding when women of color, oftentimes we seek out health care, but many times because of that mistrust, that is a barrier in terms of us following through and trusting the treatment plan, which often is safe, is effective. But if we are delivering the information in a way that's culturally insensitive, a lot of times it's so discouraging that a lot of women don't go back. So I always encourage my patients, if you get a call back, go back. And if there's a disconnect in any way, get a second, third opinion if you have to, because this is too important, not just in the month of October.
It's too important, and great advice. And I think another great way to remember when you have to advocate for yourself is to get your physical examinations or your mammograms either at your birthday. I mean, that's what I usually do around my birthday because, you know, I'm celebrating yet another year, but I'm celebrating with hopefully the knowledge of good health. Or some even say do it at the new year. Start the new year by scheduling your doctor appointments or your mammograms, etc. Dr. April Spencer, thank you so much.